guys, we're going to be starting our drafting from the very scratch. However, if you have your bodice pattern that you work with and give you the best results, then you just need to skip this step. But if you want to learn the way I draft my bodice, then you need to keep on watching. So we're having two papers. Use the dimensions of the widest part of your body, a quarter of the widest part of your body, and then add 3 inches to the width. And the length should just be from your shoulder to hip measurement plus 3 inches as well. So 3 inches addition to the width and to the length. We're going to start with the back. Our drafting usually starts from the back. First thing we're going to do is put in our zipper allowance, which is just 1 inch at the edge of the paper. I like imputing that already. From the stop line, we're going to draw a line that is 138 inches below. So guys, watch. If you do not know how to take, or you those kind of measurements are strange to you, then you need to watch how to read a measuring tape. It's going to help you a whole lot. Next line will be our length to waist measurement. That one should be taken directly on the body. From here to my waistline is going to be 13 inches. This one is taken directly along the spine to where it curves inwards. From the waistline to my hip line, 9 inches. And finally, from point O to my bust line is 8/5 of an inch. We're going to find halfway between these 2 points. So I divide 8/5 into 2, and we have 4 1/4. That'll be my back line. Finally, I draw my shoulder line, 1/1/8 of an inch. Using the Natalie Bray pattern of drafting, you actually need a size, like a chart, a size chart you work with. So that's how I know what these measurements are. Finally, I'll go back to my neck width. That's at the top there, and mark my neck width. I'll go to my neckline and mark my neck width, which is 3 inches. That line should just be about 3/4 inches long, and then once you draw your neckline already, before we even go on, I need to label all those points we have just drawn. Let us label neck, shoulder line, back line, bust line, and waist line, finally hip line. On the back line, measure half of your back width measurements. For me, it's 7.5 inches. I need to draw a vertical line cutting across the shoulder line to back line. On the shoulder line, I just do an extension of about 3/4 inches. And on the bust line, we're going to do an extension of about 2/3 of an inch, which is here. So we can draw our armhole and then connect the shoulder line. Make sure that the armhole touches this part. Make sure it touches the back line to remain straight. Go to your hip line and measure 1/4 of the hip measurement and just add 1/2 inch. Finally, on the waistline, you put your half nipple to nipple measurement, 4 inches for me. That's going to serve as our dart line. And just draw a vertical line, getting almost to the bust point and then about 2 inches away from the hip. So we're going to leave this and come back to it later when we're going to be shaping the waist. Let's quickly do the back. For the back, we're going to get the other paper, place it together this way. You can use your paper tape to just hold it down, and then you want to extend the bust line, waistline, and hip line to the front. So let's do that. Make sure your paper is of equal length before you do this. Okay. Once those lines have been drawn, you can take the paper out of the way and then impute the other lines, which are the neckline, shoulder line, chest line. So let's do that quickly. I'm going to measure 3/1/8 of an inch for the neckline. And then for the shoulder line, we're going to be using 1.5 inch. To fix our chest line, we're going to be coming up by 2/3/8 of an inch. Okay. And then the true bust line too will be about 2/3/8 of an inch, which is here. Let's go ahead to label this. This is the shoulder line, neck, chest, bust, true bust, waist, and then hip. Okay, so and then start putting in the measurement. On the neckline, we're going to put the same neck width we used for the back. And the neck width we used was 3 inches. So we're going to mark 3 inches here, 3 inches to the top, put points. While on the shoulder line, there's a constant line of 6.5 inches, of which we need to put that mark there already. And then just draw the slanted line cutting across that 6.5 inches from this neck tip to wherever your shoulder line stops. So we'll stop there for the shoulder line. We'll come over to the waistline and put a half nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. Come to the bust line as well, half nipple to nipple, which is 4 inches. This 4 inches that we've done here on the bust line, we're going to extend it all the way till it gets to that shoulder line right on top, and then just drop it by a little down there. While on the waistline, we're going to continue the line so that we can draw that line. Just stop there. Okay, the next thing we're going, you can see that this line shouldn't get to this true bust line because that's where the nipple area sits. And then we'll come back to this top and go just half inch towards the armhole area. Join that line because our bodice usually has a shoulder dart. After which we then put in the size of a shoulder dart. We're working with 3/1/8 of an inch. So from this point, 3/1/8 of an inch will be our shoulder dart. Then we'll connect. Finally, we can come in to measure the neck width. So from this center front, measure till you get to this line, not this first one, this one here. Okay, and I have from there I have 4.5 inches. So I'll just move my measuring tape and continue till I get my shoulder width, which is 8 inches. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. So that's the point I'll have. Now on my chest line, I'm going to put my chest width measurements. My chest width is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So I'll move and mark that point 7.5 here. Then I'll just measure what I have from here right onto here, 8.5. Come to the bust line and measure from here right onto here, 8.5. Join this line and then connect it to that shoulder line there. Now we can go back to our hip line and put in quarter of the hip measurement plus half an inch. Next thing we need to do is get our pattern here and measure out what you have on the bust line. That's the back pattern. Measure out what you have on the bust line. So from this center back all the way right here, we have 10 inches. And then we're going to put that point down that we have 10 inches along the bust line at the back. Now you're going to take your own bust measurement on your body. Bust measurement we're working with is 38 inches. So we do 38 divided by 2 and then we add 2 inches to whatever we have there. So 38 divided by 2 is 19 plus 2 is 21. We measured along the back, we had 10. We're then going to come to the front along this bust line and measure what will be left after subtracting 21 and 10. So when we measure now, that means you should be having 11 right here. So this is where 11 gets to. And then connect those points together. Very good. And finally, you can now connect this to the hip line. Awesome. We need to redraw a new waist. For me, my new waistline is going to be 3/4 inches below this initial one. And on the side here, it's just going to be 1/4 inch. So we can redraw the new waistline. That's the new waistline. So same applies for the other pattern. That's for the back. There'll be a new waistline here along the side, 1/4 inch, but the waist at the back still remains the same. I want to then trim out the outline of this. I want to cut off the outline. All right, so we have our back, we have our front. Along the waistline, we are going to then mark our, like measure out what we have there, and then be able to share the excess properly. From this part, you measure up onto here, and I have about 11 3/8. So I just remove that tape from 11 3/8 and continue till I get to the end. And I'm having 22 1/8. 22 1/8 is what I have in total. Now on my waistline, when I measured around my waist, I have 37 inches. If I divide 37 inches by 2, I should be having 18.5 inches. 18.5. Like subtract and see what you have left. When I subtracted 22 1/4 from 18.5, I'm having 3.75. From this line, we're going to measure 1 inch to take care of the zipper bulge. Connect it to your back line, and then from there, connect it to the hip line. I'll just put my ruler there so that I can get the complete zipper allowance and continue. So that's the zipper bulge, taking care of the zipper bulge. And then once I've taken 1 inch out, I'll have 2 3/4 inches left. 2 3/4 inches. On both sides, I'll do 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. So here I'll take 1/4 inch out on the side seam. And here I'll also take 1/4 inch out on the side seam. So I'll connect this 1/4 inch to the armhole line and then to the hip line. That has shaped the sides. This one, taking the 1/4 inch from the bust line this way and then to the sides this way. Finally, what is left, we've taken 1/4, that means we've taken 1/2 inch away. So if we take half from 2 3/4, we should have 2 1/4 left. This is the front, I mean. 1.5 would be 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. And then here will be, we're taking just 3/4, so split it evenly. And now we can connect these new lines. I mean,
Alright guys, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Please do not forget to give me a huge thumbs up, subscribe if you are yet to, and thank you so much for watching guys. By the way, I just thought to mention this basic bodice pattern is all you need for any manipulation you want to try out. So we see you in the next tutorial. Stay safe, God bless you all. Bye!